Right in with another gavel swing. Welcome everyone to the regular board meeting of Tuesday, December 6th, 2022 for the school district of Springfield Township. I do want to welcome the community. This is an exciting time. The holidays are upon us. The World Cup is upon us. And the Eagles winning streak is upon us, which is appropriate that our spotlight tonight is going to be on our student athletes here in the incredible season, historic season that our athletes had. So I look forward to getting right to that. So I won't hold us up any longer. Let's jump in with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Quick reading of our mission statement. The mission of the school district of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community. I don't know that we need to do roll call because we've already completed roll call. So why don't we jump right into announcements, which is the board at its discretion may videotape all or any portion of public board meetings subject to the limitations set forth in policy 006 meetings. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following each board meeting. And with that, we can jump right into our reports and information. First up is everyone's favorite, our Finance Committee meeting report, and Ms. Sarah Hughes will take us through.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met on Thursday, December 1st. It was myself, Mr. DeFranco, Ms. Lipinski, Dr. Taratusky, Mr. Berdard, and Dr. Yana Cohn, and our business administrator, assistant business manager, and the director of transportation. We were, our first thing that we discussed was the 2021 audit. And that was presented to us by Mr. Ron Mininger, CPA. Our district received a clean opinion of the audit. All was in order. The district had projected approximately $2.3 million in the use of the fund balance, but we actually only ended up using approximately $1.2 million is one thing to note. And there will be a motion later to approve this audit, which is the recommendation of the Finance Committee. The other thing is that we actually had a really lively conversation about school buses, but it was actually part of a larger conversation about the possibility of starting to transition to electric vehicles. We had a variety of differing opinions and questions, and Mr. Bray was really helpful in answering some of the questions about that. But overall, we are considering, we're applying for several grants, including the Alternative Fuels Incentive Grant, the Driving PA Forward Grant, and the EPA Clean School Bus Rebate Program. The deadline, the most immediate deadline, will be December 16th for the alternative fuels one. Ms. Green shared an interesting thing that I had never thought about that I wanted to share with the rest of the board. It makes me think of Fast and Furious, which is was the only other time I'd ever heard this, but that you can hack electric vehicles. And so one of the things to consider as not just the sort of environmental aspects and the costs, but also what it adds to our sort of cybersecurity concerns for the district, which is something that was new to me, which I appreciated learning about. And so there are 4 buses currently scheduled for replacement this year. The recommendation of the Finance Committee at this moment is to approve the immediate replacement of 2 of those buses, and that then we wait for these potential grants for the other 2 to start piloting that. I will say, and I don't know if any of my colleagues who were part of the Finance Committee want to talk about any of the other concerns, but one thing to note is that the longer we wait on purchasing those, we are risking an increase in price on those buses because that has been continuing to shift. And so that was expressed to us both by Mr. Bray and Ms. Green as a concern as the sort of possible trade-off is waiting for these grants. And that concludes my report.
Any comments or questions on the Finance Committee report?
Question about Fast and Furious.
No, I'm just.
Which one of us has been Diesel?
Talk later.
His car didn't get hacked, but we can talk about that later.
Any more productive comments or questions? Very good. We'll move into the administrative reports. I'll turn it over to Dr. Yannicone.
Okay, thank you. It's very nice to see everyone tonight and to have a full complement of the board with us. I want to begin my administrative report just by acknowledging that tonight starts my third year in the role. Yesterday was my anniversary of the first 2 years. I'm enjoying this year far more than I did the last two. And I really am happy to, again, be working with all of you. So thank you very much for your service. Yesterday, I sent out a newsletter to the district, all district families, regarding a number of updates. And so I don't want to belabor those points, but I'm hopeful that our families, we had almost 1,500 families already review the newsletter in the last 24 hours. So I'm hopeful that families are real clear on our expectations for the coming winter. We've renewed snow days on the calendar. We have 2 snow days. We'll see if we end up using those. And then we have the 5 flexible instructional days if we get a really rough winter. But our goal is to not have to use any days in June and have the summer start as scheduled in mid-June. We also provided an update in that newsletter on our athletic complex at the middle school. Today, you may or may not have seen, in the midst of the rain, they were paving the lots, which is another step towards getting this project completed. And we also have some updates there on our district goals and progress towards those goals, as we are just about at the mid-year point of the fiscal year, and therefore our goals for the year. I also want to mention that we had another, for the second month in a row, Springfield Township has a high school student who was designated as the student of the month at Eastern. So there are 7 schools that send students to Eastern, and we have had 2 months in a row that our students have been selected as the student of the month. This month, Taylor Schultz is the December student of the month at Eastern, being recognized for her outstanding work in their business and technology professional program, as our student of the month was last month. 10 students each year are selected for this honor from across the Eastern region. And so we are really proud that Springfield Township High School now has 2 of those first 4 months of designation. As a student with a strong sense of volunteerism and teamwork, Taylor was already active in extracurricular activities at our high school, such as softball, swimming, water polo, drama, stage crew, and more recently, the Interact Club. So she has been contributing to our school community in multiple ways. She felt that the business and technology professional program at Eastern would best suit her plans of working in the international business field. And after graduation, Taylor plans to attend the College of New Jersey for international business. We're very proud of Taylor and congratulate her on this recognition through Eastern Career and Technical School. And finally, in my report, we have tonight's spotlight. I'm very happy to have a lot of our parents of our interscholastic athletic programs with us tonight. As a former coach, student athlete, and high school principal, I've been really excited to see the successes we've had on the athletic fields and in the pool this fall. And I know that Dr. Rittenhouse is here to represent the high school to present our 4 teams that earned state participation this year. So we have a lot of great news. I also want to recognize that our athletic director, Mr. Ferrero, had every intention of being here, and about an hour ago had a serious family emergency, and so is unable to join us, but Dr. Ritt is going to take the mic and take us home.
Thank you, everybody, and good evening. And first, I'd like to thank all the families for being here this evening. As Dr. Yannicone said, Joe Ferraro was unable to be here this evening. He did help us set up the table. As I joke, we need 2 tables because we have so many trophies. And that is Suburban 1 championships, district championships, Coach of the Year awards, which you can hear about this evening. And it certainly makes me very proud. I'd also like to thank Dave Giordano, who works very closely with Joe in the athletic department. He would assist this evening, but he's the girls basketball coach and they're practicing, I believe, if I saw the kids coming in this evening. We have 775 students here at the high school. 425 students play a fall sport. And I'm a social studies teacher, but I was able to calculate that's 55% played a fall sport. So 1 out of 2 of our entire student body was on a team in the fall. We ask that our student athletes not only excel in the field, but we have rigorous academic eligibility. We truly have wonderful athletes, and they are student athletes here at the high school. So and a lot of the kids will be leaving the pool or the soccer field at 6:30, 6:45 at night, and then go home and get the work done in a classroom. So we're certainly proud of our students each and every day. Tonight, our coaches will celebrate the accomplishments of our teams and student athletes for both our boys and girls in golf, cross country, water polo, and boys soccer. And I note several RSVP'd no, because again, they're here practicing as we speak in our athletic complex. And we certainly recognize them this evening, even though they're not able to be here. First up is golf. We had a hectic time at about 6:30 as I was setting up. Mr. Vietz is also not available this evening, and he was here helping earlier. He sends his regrets and congratulations to the team, noting that everything's fine and he will see his golfers tomorrow. So these are some of Coach Vietz's golfers. However, Mr. Vietz, being Mr. Vietz, sent me his script this evening. So I didn't enlarge the print, so bear with me. And again, this is directly from Coach Vietz. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the school board, the administration, specifically the athletic office, for their support we received again this year for our program. The year had more highlights than we could enumerate in a short amount of time. We tied for first in our division, which made 3 straight years that we either won outright or tied for first. We had 4 players, Adam, Max, Ethan, and Matt, receive first team honors through honorable mention in the Suburban 1 League. Adam Floor won the individual freedom division at SOLs, with Max May finishing second at SOLs. This play qualified us for districts as a team for the 3rd straight year, and Adam advanced as an individual to states at Penn State, where he finished 10th in the state for 3A boys against some of the stiffest competition in the state. This is our first trip to the states for boys in some years, and Adam's finish was the highest that Coach Vietz has had in his tenure here. It was a great year. So if we congratulate our golf team, please. Take the picture. Hold on, Dr. Johnson's. Yeah, come on over here. So golf team. I got an opportunity to go watch them play, watch them tee off over at Sandy Run, which was fun. Golf's a little more difficult to go to because after a while, I think they're kind of like, all right, it's time. So you could say congratulations, then you could get going. So, you know. All right, thank you, golf team. Great job. Next up, boys and girls cross country. Coach Naira Woods will be here in a second, and I'll hand the microphone over to her. Coach Woods, how are you? Mike is yours.
Thank you. Oh.
Kind of see everybody that way.
Oh, really, guys.
Hello, how's everyone doing tonight? All right. First off, I would like to just say thank you guys, the admin and board, for using this platform to honor our student athletes. Is very much appreciated, especially for their hard work that they put in throughout the season. Okay, I've been coaching here for about 6 years now, and let's say cross country is one of those sports where either you love it or you hate it. It's really no in between. You got people that run to the car and get winded and shortness of breath, let alone trying to train for a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. But I had about 21 brave souls that came out to run cross country this season. And as a result, these 2 out of the 3 in her absence were my top 3 athletes this season. I'll start with Matt Hall first. Matt was the top runner for our boys team this season. He led the team from the start of the season to the end of the season. Matt at the Suburban 1 League Championships placed in the top 10. Also in the district championship, Matt was the only athlete that placed and got a medal in the top 10 in the district championships. Matt finished his season running a season best of 16:58 and just missed making it to the state championships. When I say just missed, he missed it by a place. Do you understand what that meant to us and Matt by missing it by a place? Now, over the years, all you needed to do was run at least a 17:30 and you were absolutely in states. He just broke 17 minutes and still didn't make it in. So that's just a testament of how the competition is getting better and faster every year. So the great part about it is he's only a sophomore. So he got 2 more years to go, and we definitely got it next season. Sam Klein, who is not here, she's a senior on our team. She's leaving us. It's bittersweet. This is her 2nd year running on the team. And Sam was the 2nd top female runner on the team. Excuse me, because I'm a little under the weather. 2nd top female runner on the team this season. Sam placed in the top 10 as well at the Suburban 1 championships and ran extremely well in the district championships and ran a personal best of 21 minutes in her 5K. Now, Sam, same situation as Matt, last season missed making it to states by a place, but she changed it all up this season and was like, that's not happening. She ended up making it to states this season. So Sam, she did an awesome job. Again, we sad to see her go, but last but certainly not least, we have Miss Ella Walsh. Ella is a senior on the, not yet, a sophomore on the team. Ella led our women's team this season from start to finish. She was our top female runner on the team. Ella placed in the top 10 at the Suburban 1 League Championships, as well as running extremely well in the district championships. And Ella got down to 20 minutes this season. And Ella also qualified for the state championships this season. Now, Ella is the only one on the team that qualified for states 2 years in a row. So that is impressive to only be a sophomore on the team. So like I said, it's bittersweet for Sam leaving us, but it's very gratifying and assuring to know that these two are still sophomores and we have 2 more years amongst a strong pool of other athletes that we have on the team. So we're looking to take more runners to the states and to hopefully place in the top 20 in states in years to come. But please help me honor and recognize these athletes you see standing before you. Thank you all so much.
Congratulations across country. And next up, Coach Igo with the girls water polo team.
Thank you, Dr. Rittenhouse. Come on over, girls. So I have with me tonight some representatives from the small school state champion girls water polo team. This is their 2nd straight small school state championship. This was, you can't tell from this group here, we have a lot of girls that couldn't make it tonight, but this was our largest team in the history of our program. We had 29 girls this season, which for water polo teams is really, really big. And we've gotten a lot of really positive attention from the Coaches Association and the leadership from the State Association as an example for what is possible with growing the sport. We are the smallest school in the state of Pennsylvania that has water polo, and we fielded one of the largest teams by numbers out of a lot of these other schools that we play against. So we're a good example of what's possible with a solid program, with a supportive administration, et cetera. So these girls won, like I said, back-to-back state titles this season. Water polo is not an easy sport to learn, and it's not an easy sport to play. So the fact that we have so many girls that are interested is just phenomenal. So I'm going to introduce you to the girls that we have with us tonight. This team is led. We had 3 captains: Delaney Lake, Anya Lynn, and Amy Pischke. Also with us tonight, we have Taylor Schultz, Josie Clark, Reagan McGuire, Kayla Mateo, Ashley Schultz, Jess Shapley, Olivia Beck, Madeline Lodge, Grace Tolan, Haley Phelps, and Stormy Shock Sprague. So clap it up for these guys. So thank you very much for the invitation. It's great to be back and to recognize these talented young ladies. Thank you very much. All right. Let's go on to the boys.
Sure, come back, come back.
Slide over. This way. Come on down this way, girl. Oh, watch out. Got it? Why are we playing water sports and not land sports?
You go back there? I'll just stay here.
All right, Dr. Ray, do you want me to introduce boys water polo next? Okay.
So while the boys are coming out, I'd just like to take a moment as the boys are joining us to make sure that our school board knows and the members of the community know that Coach Igo, what we were notified, was named as the Small School Boys PIAA Coach of the Year. Much deserved.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a tremendous honor. That's a peer voted on award. So nominated by somebody and voted on by the rest of the state association. So thank you very much for recognizing that. So we have our boys here. So our boys are back-to-back state champions. This is their 3rd straight title. So the juniors in this group have won a state championship every year they've been here. And we're hoping to add a 4th next year so they can round it out. These boys are led by 2 fantastic young men in Will Horn and Finley Spratt. They were our captains this year, tremendous leaders. And the boys team was not as big as the girls team. We still had 24 boys, which when I first started and when Coach Bowles went to school here and played, the teams were around 13, 14, 15. So when we talk about teams of 24 or more, it's really quite exciting to have that much interest in the sport. So let me just introduce who we have here with us tonight. On the boys side, like I said, we had Will Horn and Finley Spratt. We also have Will Cross. We have Adam Westergom, Matt Hood, Jacob Christ, Ryan McKelvey, Nate Levy, Michael Cooper, Gavin Lake, Johnny Gendron, Aiden Talon, and Logan Stum. So clap it up for these guys. All right. So thank you again very much for the invitation. It's always great to come out and celebrate these guys. Hopefully we'll be back again next year.
Thank you, the coaches. Thank you to water polo boys and girls. And as Dr. Yannicone alluded to, Coach Igo was the Coach of the Year in Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We got a great email from the director of the water polo in Pennsylvania, just how both of our teams every year just represent our school really well. And I was able to be at both of them. We hosted for the first time. I think we're usually kind of far away, but we were able to host both state championships in our pool, which is really exciting this year. So congratulations. And last but certainly not least, boys soccer. Come on up, Coach Meter.
What do I do? Go up there? Okay.
Hi, everybody. For a team, a program that's never won their own division, boys soccer had an historic soccer season. They've broken just about every record in the Springfield soccer books. They had 21 wins and only 4 losses. They scored 78 goals and only let up 12. They had 14 shutouts. For the first time ever, they won the Suburban 1 division. For the first time ever, they won the District 1 championship. And for the first time ever qualified for states, had a great state run all the way to the championship game and are the state runner-up. They had a player get MVP of the league. That player is recognized as a Pennsylvania All-State player. He's also recognized as an All-American Region East player. And to top it all off, the JV went undefeated. So maybe we can keep this thing going. I don't know if did I mention the 14 shutouts? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Before we could gather you guys to squeeze together for a picture. What are we saying here? Where should we all go here for a good picture?
I'm thinking where you are. Sure. You guys want to hold your trophies? You can hold the trophy. Pick up any one that's yours.
All right, congratulations, soccer. And congratulations to all our sports teams.
Coach Meter and members of the team, I just wanted to say one thing to you guys. As a team, as somebody who has coached and as somebody who really values interscholastic athletics, first of all, it was wonderful to watch you play together as a team, game after game. What I shared with Coach Meter in an email after the last game of the season, that what I saw was unselfish play, true teamwork, which is what leads to success. And not only those shutouts, but what I witnessed in your maturity and composure in that last game, which I know hurt. It was obvious on your faces that hurt. But that maturity and composure is what gives me confidence that you are all growing into great men, not just great student athletes. So thank you for the way you handled yourselves from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. It does get noticed by many, by fellow superintendents, by other high school principals, by other coaches, by officials. The way in which you conduct yourselves every day on the field gets noticed. So I want to congratulate you, and I do hope there's a little fire in the belly from that undefeated JV so that next year we can come back and do it all over again. And I want to thank Coach Meter and your team of coaches for the work you've done to really build the program. So thank you. That will conclude my administrative report. Parents, thank you for being here. You're welcome to stay, but we understand if you'd like to go.
Great. Right, very low. And all of our student athletes. It was pretty awesome this season. It was really fun. Okay, any comments from the board on the spotlight or updates from Dr. Anico? All right, we will move to public comment on agenda items. I don't think we had any signups in the room.
There are not.
All right, and we'll go to the online world and see if we have any raised hands for public comment on agenda items.
I don't see any hands raised, but if you want to give it a minute to see if someone shows up, we certainly can. It's up to you.
Give folks just a couple of seconds here. All right, we're going to keep moving. If we cut anyone off, please jump in with a hand. And we will move into the business of this evening's agenda. First, we're going to go through a couple of approval of the minutes from our prior meetings. First on the agenda is approval of minutes from November 1st, 2022. This was our interim hybrid board meeting. Board of School Directors approves the board minutes from November 1st, 2022 interim hybrid board meeting. Is there a motion? And a second? Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion will pass. Next is approval of minutes from our November 15th, 2002 regular hybrid board meeting. The Board of School Directors approves the board minutes from November 15th, 2022 regular hybrid board meeting. Any comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion will pass. I don't think I actually took a motion on that. So I'm just going to assume there's a motion. Ms. Lipinski, and we get a second from Mr. DeFranco. Good job, guys. Good job. Yeah, it's my first day in office. It's very difficult to keep up here. We're going to move right into human resources, personnel and HR contracts. The first is our personnel file. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: certified personnel, support personnel, temporary personnel, extra pay for extra responsibilities for 2022 and 23, and conference workshop attendance. Is there a motion? Any comments or questions on the personnel file? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Academic Affairs. We have just one motion for a foreign exchange student. Board of School Directors approves a foreign exchange student from Italy for the second semester of the 2022-2023 school year. Is there a motion? And a second? Second. Any comments or questions on the attendance of a foreign exchange? All those in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed? And our much anticipated finance section, as outlined by Ms. Hughes, thank you. We'll go into our first, the audit report for the year ended June 30th, 2022. The Board of School Directors approves the Finance Committee's recommendation to accept the audit report for the year ended June 30th, 2022 as prepared by Bars, Gowie, Emmon, and Foltz LLC for the School District of Springfield Township. Is there a motion? And a second? Any comments or questions on the audit report? I will just comment, and in years past, we've found in the audit challenges, and those challenges have been addressed more than satisfactorily in years past. We've now had multiple years of clean audits, and that's a testament to the administration. So Ms. Green, I just want to congratulate you and the team. Yeah. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That will pass. Our next item under finance is Bright Bill Body Works. The Board of School Directors approves the purchase of one 84-passenger Bluebird All-American School Bus for an estimated cost of $177,441 plus camera installation, and one 72-passenger Bluebird All-American School Bus for an additional estimated cost of $171,457 plus camera installation under Sourcewell state contract pricing. Is there a motion? And a second? Any comments or questions on the purchase of these school buses? All those in favor say aye. Aye. And any opposed? Motion will pass. Next, under finance, we have the resolution for extensions of credit and incumbency certificate. I think that's just incumbency, but when you read it the first time, it really catches you off guard. The school board approves the resolution for extensions of credit and incumbency certificate for PNC Bank, which names Kara A. Green, Business Administrator, Board Secretary, and Samantha Jenko, the Assistant Business Administrator and Board Treasurer, as authorized signers on the account. Is there a motion? And a second? Any comments or questions on this resolution?
I just have one quick question. Ms. Green, the question is charged to you. Is this part of the financial security you spoke about several meetings ago?
No, this isn't.
Is this something
actually
different?
housekeeping for our district credit card or purchasing card.
Okay.
So this puts with the transition of administration in the business office, this just is housekeeping and puts us as authorized signers so that we can speak on the account.
And it allows that flow.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion will pass. Nothing on the agenda for policy. I think we'll have some robust review of policy in the new year. We'll move to property. First is an environmental covenant. The Board of School Directors approves the environmental covenant for the Springfield Township School District Bus Garage located at 103 Montgomery Avenue, Glenside, PA 19038. Is there a motion? And a second? Okay, any comments or questions on the environmental covenant?
Can I just ask for a one-sentence confirmation of what environmental covenant is, so I'm sure that I'm clear on what I'm voting on?
Yes, I'm actually going to ask Mr. Thorne to come forward because he has the greatest amount of history in this particular matter and explain to you exactly what this is.
Thank you, Dr. Iannacone. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so we were required by the DEP to remediate the property at the bus garage. In 2009, we had an underground diesel fuel tank leak. So we were required to basically remediate the whole entire area, which included the removal of an estimated 160 tons of soil, water monitoring, soil vapor monitoring. So we fulfilled all the requirements from DEP. And with that, we have to put a covenant on the deed of the property that would tell any future buyer of the property that there was an environmental issue on the property that has been properly remediated. So that's what this covenant is all about.
Before you leave your seat, any other comments or questions for Mr. Thorne?
Gosh, we can move it if it's in the wrong section. It's under administrative content. Can you see that?
The attachment earlier today.
I wasn't as well. All right. It's okay. Should be viewable to each of you.
Is this a one-time covenant? Like it doesn't need to be updated on a regular basis, or this is the paperwork complete?
Just once. Mr. Thorne is nodding and saying just once.
Great.
Yes. I do want to say that I think that the efforts that Mr. Thorne and his team have made in working with DEP have resulted in this covenant. So I want to congratulate him and thank him for over many years working through this issue with DEP and making sure that we resolved the concerns.
Closure. Good. Excellent. Good work. Any other comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Covenant will pass. And that is everything on our agenda. We can move now to public comment on non-agenda items.
Mr. Bedard, no one has signed up in person to speak on a non-agenda item. I don't see any hands raised online either. Very good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want to come forward?
Good. You can come forward. If you could just let us know your name, where you live in the district.
As far as city goes. Hi.
Mr. Bedard, I'm so sorry to interrupt that. I just want to remind everybody, we do have a 3-minute time limit. And as a reminder, this section is for comment only. So we won't be doing question and answers or back and forth, anything like that. With that, excuse me as I run out of breath. Please go ahead.
Hi. My name is Lauren Bundy, and I live in Winmore. I am a 17-year-old senior here at SDHS, and I would like to take this time to explain the situation in regard to the bathrooms, as well as my opinions on it. I stand here not only representative of my voice, but of a majority of the student teacher body. We have 7 groups of bathrooms at SDHS. 5 of them are locked. The ones that are open are being monitored constantly by a security guard. They have to sit there all day and sign us in and out instead of securing the school like they are paid to do so. As a compromise, I would suggest that the guards only sit with the timesheet during lunch and learn time, considering that it is when the greatest number of students use the facilities. This has caused great disruption to the school day. Students are waiting in long lines, blocking the flow of traffic in the hallway, and creating large crowds at times. If students don't use the bathroom during our 3-minute class changes or our allotted lunch and learn time, we must now interrupt the class by obtaining a hall pass and miss out on our class. The fact that neither teachers nor students were made aware of this prior to the closing of the bathrooms is wholly inconsiderate. Has this new policy taken into consideration for those with inflammatory bowel disease, irritable bowel syndrome, urinary tract infections, etc.? Let us not forget about the entire female population who experience sudden menstrual cycles, which, if left ignored, result in embarrassment and contamination of clothes and surfaces. What about the many students who use the bathroom to wash their hands, blow their noses, or sulk? What if a student needs to throw up and instead of using the bathroom next to their classroom, they now have to walk across the entire school? This clearly marginalizes students with valid medical conditions. Restricting our use of the bathroom is inherently against our natural rights that we as students, and first humans are entitled to. It has been explained that these new regulations were put in place to catch the students who vape, loiter, vandalize, and eat in the bathrooms. All of these, rightfully so, are reprimandable actions in our code of conduct. Upon committing the aforementioned, students should be punished in a few ways. These include everything from warnings, detentions, referrals, suspensions, etc. But nowhere in the code of conduct does it say that administration is eligible to admonish the entire student body. Morally and literally, this is wrong. SDHS should focus on prevention. SDHS should focus on prevention rather than dealing with these issues in retrospect. Mental health services, especially for addiction, should be developed. In talking to a member of the administration, I had mentioned the importance of implementing shame-free resources for students who are struggling. This does not include a virtually inaccessible link on the school website or simply a hotline phone number. To combat the issue of students eating in the bathrooms, SDHS should provide more inside areas for students to eat, as they promised 1.5 years ago. The district statement clearly states their devotion to teaching growing students to be responsible. The equity vision statement mentions that we must apply principles of fairness and justice, and that we must engage in continuous reflection of our efforts. Have we forgotten the definitions of equity, responsibility, fairness, and justice? Do these policies only aid specific aspects of student life? Have we forgotten about the rights of students as a whole, especially the majority who are innocent? Springfield Township School District and its relative administration have exemplified how they resort to grandiose and superficial action to fix a fundamental problem. With that in mind, I do understand that this situation is not easily fixable. And I would like to make it abundantly clear that I am ashamed of the children who I call my peers and who have perpetuated these issues. I am, however, concerned about the general unprofessionalism and air of contempt that these new policies have produced. Instead of punishing those guilty, they have let the problem marinate and thus are punishing everyone. That is all. Thank you.
Been in touch with the administration as well.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other comments or questions online or in the room?
Mr. Bedard, I don't see anyone else signed up on in person, excuse me, and I don't see any hands raised online as I check again.
Very good. We will move to updates on future meetings. We have some upcoming board meetings. So, that's yeah, I'm ready. I told you, first day on the job. My goodness, our next board meeting is in 2023. So our next interim board meeting is actually on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. This is a hybrid meeting, but it has been canceled. In real time, that meeting was canceled. So please no one show up on January 3rd, 2023. That update is also on the website. Our next regular board meeting will be on Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. That's a hybrid board meeting. As always, these will be held here in the Fries Memorial Library, located in the high school, or on the link that you'll find on the website. Future committee meeting dates. We have a policy committee meeting coming up on Monday, December 19th, 2022. That's at 4 p.m. That is a virtual meeting only. Public is welcome, and all of the information can be found on the district website. And with that, I just wanted to open it up to board members. Any comments or questions from today's meeting? Anything that you want to share with the board? Good. Dr. Yannicone, I'll turn it over to you. Any closing comments?
I'll just say happy holidays. We're going to hope for a peaceful end to the 2022 calendar year. Nice winter break for everybody, and we'll see you in 2020.
The well wishes, we will wish everyone a good night. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming.